Hey guys, Alex Taylor here. I am here with Jason Moulton. What is your actual title, Jason?
Motorsports Director.
Motorsports Director. Yeah. That means he's important. I'm going to try to ask the questions that you guys might not necessarily want to ask or know to ask, or maybe you just haven't had time to ask. So Jason, are you ready to go?
Let's do it.
All right, next question. I'm starting here with, thinking radial, and we used to run this on my Camaro.
Yeah.
But say ET Street Radial Pro, you've got the ET Street SS, the ET Street R Bias. Those are all DOT?
Yeah, so those are all DOT. So let me ask you, your Camaro, what kind of power does your Camaro make?
2,000-ish.
Okay, that's a good amount of power. What kind of suspension does it have?
So leaf spring car.
So it's a leaf spring car, but you drive it on the street, right? So with something like that, if you're going to drive it on the street, we'd look at like an ET Street R.
ET Street R, okay.
Yeah, so we'd look at the radial. It's an automatic, correct?
Yes.
So yeah, we'll stick with the radial product on that ET Street R because you are driving on the street, but 2,000 horsepower, it's really a race car.
Right.
Right? So we want to harness all that power as much as we can. We want to make sure that you're legal to drive it on the street.
Okay.
The ET Street R has some lines in it. We don't really recommend driving it in the rain.
Okay.
But it is something that you can safely drive on the street if you want to take your Camaro to go get a burger or whatever.
Okay.
Cruise around. Now, there is the ET Street Radial Pro.
So that's the one that we were running.
Yeah.
Help me here, because let's talk about the differences there. There's obviously a lot of difference in amount of tread.
Yes.
On that, or grooves, I should say, maybe.
The only difference is the amount of grooves that we have in the tire.
Okay.
So we developed ET Street Radial Pro first.
Okay.
And that was really designed for the guys that were running a 275 class. So it had to, at the time, it had to have a DOT requirement on it. So it does pass all DOT regulations.
Gotcha.
However, because of the reduced void or reduced pattern in it, we're trying to be, what's the right word I'm looking for? We're trying to be certainly conscious that you don't want to drive this thing in the rain.
Okay,
so
that's fair.
So it does pass all the DOT regulations, all the testing, all the criteria that you need for a DOT tire.
Okay.
But because of the reduced amount of pattern, we say don't drive this on the street.
But to be fair, to that point, that's going to rely on a little bit of user instinct. Like if I look at that, I'm going to be like, no, I'm not. Which I know you guys can't say that, but I'm going to say that. Use your brain here. It's DOT rated, but if it looks slick and it's slick outside, it's probably slick all around. So anyway, so I know that we were running the ET Street Radial Pro because for us we were needing a 275 tire for our drag week class that we were running and all of that. So for those applications where you're probably spending a little bit more time on the drag strip, but you need to meet the DOT requirement, that's where that's a benefit. But if you're truly driving on the street and you're just going to the drag strip that's that ET Street R? Yeah,
well, the way we look at the ET Street R is if you have a race car that you like to drive on the street, run the ET Street R. Okay. So from our standpoint, it's the ET Street R and the ET Street Radial Pro are exactly the same other than the amount of void that's in the tire. Okay. There are certain classes that require you to run the ET Street R. Okay. So, and people have gone really fast on it. So it's still that product that kind of covers a little bit of both. Okay. Now, if we go a little bit further the other direction, you kind of brought it up. You got a street car that you want to go to the track with every once in a while. That's more of our ET Street SS.
ET Street SS. Okay, that is listed here.
So if you see that, you see it has some more pattern.
Okay. Yep.
Well, yeah, I hope I do. But yeah, so it's got some more pattern in it, and it's actually got the same compound as the R and the Pro. Okay. But the construction is different. So it's a little bit more of a construction that's very much like today's modern radials with steel belts and all that, but it's designed to go fast. It's designed for drive applications. But again, you want to drive it somewhere on the street. So let's say you have, what year's your silver Camaro?
2011.
Okay, and how much power does that make?
Whatever stock would be.
Whatever stock.
It's basic.
But even today, we look at today's muscle cars, right? Yeah. You can go into a dealership and buy a muscle car. A lot of cars.
Muscle cars.
With 600 horsepower, 700 horsepower, right? So the SS is a great tire for those cars. Okay. All right. So it's got something you drive on the street a lot, but you want to go to the track and have some fun, the SS is a great choice.
So in summary then, street car that wants to go to the drag strip once in a while, we're looking at that, let me get it here, we're looking at the ET Street SS. Yep. Race car we want to drive on the street, we're looking at an ET Street R Bias.
or the ET Street R Radial. The bias tires, and you bring up
Oh
a good
wait,
point.
no. Hang on, I was off. Yeah. No, I wasn't off.
No, you're doing good.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, Street R. No, Street R.
Yeah, the Street R,
Okay.
there's a radial and a bias version. You bring up a great point.
Forget the bias. We got too complicated here. We're summing everything up. So for your street car that you want to race once in a while, ET Street SS.
Yep.
Race car you want to drive on the street once in a while, ET Street R.
Yep.
And your race car that needs a DOT tire to fit a class, maybe different conditions, power and stuff, you want the ET Street Radial Pro.
You're an expert.
Bam.